Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Autastic, your comedian's guide to autism. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Kirk Smith, and as always, with my buddy on the phone,
Graham K. What's up, folks? Good to be here.
Woo!
We've missed you. Yeah, big week for me and my show, Pete and Me, about Peter. I'm doing an off-Broadway performance of my one-man show. I had my first weekend, and I was very nervous about it because, you rent a theater, you're producing it yourself, and you wonder if anyone's going to show up, truthfully. And I did, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and each show had more and more people, and then Saturday we were sold out. And it was awesome.
Bananas.
It was awesome.
Bananas. That's great, man.
Yeah, and it's just really fun to talk about Pete and let people learn about him. I start the show by doing a slideshow,
Okay.
and then I play a bunch of voicemails from him, and then I tell him to call at a certain time, and I have a clock with a countdown. And I tell the audience, and sure enough, he calls at the perfect time, at the exact time I told him to, because I tell everyone he's really good at keeping a schedule. And then I prove it to them when he calls, and then we do like a little FaceTime call. And I put the speaker to the microphones, and the whole audience can see him and hear him and talk to him. And, it's been great. I had some publications come out, and so waiting on reviews, seeing if they liked it or not. I hope they liked it. New Yorker came on Saturday, so we'll see. We'll see, Kirk, if they liked it. I don't know. All in all, Pete's doing well. Talked to him today. He, he's just working, taking care of my parents. He's in good spirits. Yeah, I'm proud of him. Proud of the little guy. How are you doing?
Nice. That's a heartwarming week in review. I'm good.
Yeah.
I got a text or message from JJ's account sent by one of his little minders who is so cute. He's like sitting on some steps, kind of leaning over, his elbows on his knees, kind of leaning over, kind of like I don't know what to call that pose, like an athlete pose, kind of, where you're like on the bench, kind of, and he's kind of like half smiling, very cute. And they said, we took him to that waterfall where you were taking him, and he did really great. I thought he was going to fall, and instead I fell, and he helped me up. And I was like, huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was really kind of exciting.
No, are you okays?
No, he didn't say, are you okay? That's I didn't ask. It wasn't in the update, but he might have. Mm-hmm. He might have also laughed. He also thinks it's hilarious when people fall down. So
it is funny.
But he's good, I think. I did I've been plugging on the show relentlessly for weeks. So I did a drybar 2 days ago. We recorded, or Friday, and I had a couple of fans of Autastic drive down to the show. They were like,
awesome.
Yeah, they're like, we bought tickets to see Graham, and they said they messaged you that we went to go see him at Silver Springs or something, and then they thought it was like in Utah, and it was a different Springs town in Jersey or something. They're like in the wrong state, and
in upstate New York. Yeah.
Yes.
There's
What's the town?
So they thought, it's like a Comedy Works. Yeah, Silver Springs or something.
Silver Springs, something like that.
Some springs. And, I posted the right state. I didn't post the wrong state.
And the guy, the husband was laughing hysterically. His wife was like all excited. She bought these tickets, and we get in the car to go. And I'm like, he's in Silver Springs or whatever. This is like a tiny little
Silver
town.
Springs. Yeah.
Is he at the bowling alley? Where's he performing at? And then they, looked into a little further, like, oh, wrong state. I'm like, I think there's one of those in Florida too.
That's so funny. I think they may have messaged me that. I think I vaguely remember reading that.
Yeah, he said he messaged you, and he said we read one of his tweets on the air too. Yeah, but it was him and
That's funny.
And his wife, and they dragged it. another couple there also that was fans of the. It was
Oh,
interesting.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
very
guys. Thanks
interesting.
for this.
Yeah.
Even though you didn't make it, even though you didn't want to drive a day and a half to upstate
From
New York
Utah to
from Utah,
Massachusetts or whatever.
yeah. Even though you left me out
Oh.
to dry, uh, that's really sweet of you guys to do that, and I very much appreciate the support. And that's great. You guys came out to see Kirk, and even though he was probably tired from um, Airbnb-ing out his apartment and living on a ship his whole
Not
life.
that. I'm tired from being inundated with Graham K's fans. Jeez Louise, I can't go anywhere.
Yep. The Grammos, they're out there.
I call them the K's, but
Yeah.
K Lords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was fun. The tape was great. A little behind the scenes thing. You tape it twice, so the first show I kind of did what I thought I was going to do, and it went really well. So in the second show, I took some more chances and did like a little bit more, a little bit racier material, and a story about my son having to go to or me having to go to the bathroom, and dragging him into a stall because we're in public, and so we'll see. We'll see. It was interesting to see. I went to the show and like greeted everybody just to say, oh, thanks for coming, whatever. And there was, there's always a lot of people with a connection to it. I had a
Yeah.
guy. I'm on a Norwegian ship today, and I had a couple last night at the adult show come up afterwards and ask me questions. And yeah, that's true. So it's interesting, very interesting. Yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah, I got a message yesterday from someone who lives in Michigan, and she asked if I had any more performance dates of Pete and me in New York coming up in October, which I do. I have 5 more dates, October 5, 7, 12, 13, 14. And she was like, yeah, we're thinking of driving down from Michigan
Oh
to
boy,
see the show.
that's true.
And that makes a fella feel good. And if you come to the show, if you're listening and you do end up coming to the show, you have to come up to me after and tell me so we can get a picture, because we gotta hang.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Man.
it's flattering. Yeah, it's great. And we Kirk and we filmed parts of the documentary that is being filmed about us and this podcast. It's not
And
100%.
and our family. Yeah.
And what?
And our family. Hopefully, it'll be about Pete and JJ too. Yeah, or Jacob. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's about us doing this podcast, so
Yep. I agree.
a big portion of it is going to be them. But anyway, it was interesting to have a film crew come to New York, and we scheduled a couple days around it, and we don't know when it's going to be coming out. We're still trying to get they are still trying to get funding for it. But yeah, this crew came from Nashville, and we filmed a bunch of stuff. So
Autastic, the documentary. I mean, when I
the
said that,
doc-
it sounds like a horror show, but yes.
no, it's just it's amazing that Autastic is we're all over the media. We're everywhere.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I'm trying to change the subject. I'm trying to put together the rest of my fall schedule. We kind of, comedy gets booked kind of far out. It's not like the week of. And so trying to piece together, my next trip to see JJ. And he's, every time I see these pictures, like that picture they sent yesterday, he's just growing up, man. He's growing up.
Like how so? Like he looks more like a man, or?
Yeah, it just looks more confident and just like, more self-assured. And so
That's amazing.
Yeah, happy.
It's amazing that just happens regardless of your cognitive ability. You become like more self-assured, more confident in yourself, and you know who you are. And he's like walking on the rocks, and he's like, I got this. And then the guy falls
Yeah.
over, and he's like, "Ha ha ha! I got it. He didn't."
That kind of segues into the article today. Beautiful segue, Gramo. But I think
Not
confidence
bad.
is kind of tied to
Yes.
your daily activities and what you're doing and mastery of something. And this was in the Colorado Sun. A Colorado
Speaking
dad.
of which,
Go ahead.
another seamless segue. I am going to be in Colorado at the High Plains Comedy Festival this week. Yeah, so
Nice.
look out for me.
Nice.
This I'm going to be there the 20th to the 23rd of September, Denver, Colorado. Speaking of Denver, Colorado, this is from the Colorado Sun. Anyway, I love this article. You found this article. I love this.
I'm excited
Made
about
me
this. It makes me
happy.
think of JJ a lot. Yeah. Colorado
Yeah.
dad wanted more for his son, so he opened a trade school for adults with autism.
Oh, amazing.
Graduates of Inglewood School are getting jobs as auto mechanics, welders, carpenters, and electricians. Because I was talking to somebody about this, JJ is very strong. So, like in carpentry, if we get him
Right.
interested to where he understood, hey, grab this 2x4, grab it and put it over here. Like all that stuff's very simple for him. You can just one hand it, just grab it, bends down. So all right. Bobby Lee, 20, no relation to Bobby Lee, the comedian. Bobby Lee, 20, doesn't want a job bagging groceries or folding napkins in the back of a restaurant. But in a traditional job training program for people with disabilities, that's likely what he would get. Instead, Lee is learning carpentry at school in Inglewood that helps teenagers and young adults with autism figure out what they're good at: fixing cars, welding, electrical work, cybersecurity, or using laser cutters or 3D printers. Lee hopes to get a job crafting furniture. Already, he's helped build dozens of wooden desks that TACT, which stands for Teaching the Autism Community Trades, sold to a school. Lee, who said he has learned far more in the carpentry program than he ever learned in high school, in particular loves working with the tape measure. You get the most information out of it, he
Hmm.
explained. In a giant warehouse in an industrial district just off Santa Fe Drive, students are rewriting the conventional list of opportunities available to people with autism after they leave the public school system. More than 83% of the students get jobs when they graduate from TACT, with an average starting salary of almost $20 an hour. So far, 68 companies, including car dealerships, construction companies, and household product producers, have hired graduates from the program. Graduates have gone to Jiffy Lube, Sturgeon Electric, Colorado Floor Company, Ball Aerospace, Groove
Wow.
Toyota, and S&S Ironworks. And as several autism providers have closed up operations in Colorado the past year, the waitlist at TACT is growing. It has climbed from 20 people a few years ago to more than 100.
Yeah.
On a recent day in the 1,800 square foot warehouse, one of the students was learning to operate an auto lift holding up a Toyota RAV4. Clear, he shouted before moving the lever. His first few attempts were rocky, with the SUV getting off balance as it began to descend lopsided. The lift was donated by an auto company, as were some of the engines in the warehouse, including those from a Lexus and a Toyota. The school also has every component of a Tesla engine laid out in a cart so students can practice taking them apart and putting them back together again. In another room, sparks are flying as Kate Sniden, 20, uses a welding machine to smooth out a piece of metal. Senden, I'm butchering this lady's name. I'm going to go Sniden again. Is considering a career in welding and has plans to help turn a hunk of metal into a giant sloth for the Morrison Natural History Museum, where she's a volunteer. She is one of the few female students at the school, a reflection on the fact that 4 times as many boys as girls are diagnosed with autism.
Hmm.
Whatever her future job, she says she doesn't want it to be involved in customer service. While welding, she puts in earplugs, covers her eyes with goggles, and concentrates in solitude.
Oh,
Lee loves
if you have
carpentry
a
for
sensory, if you have a sensory issue, that's like perfect job.
yeah.
No one talk to me. Earplugs, shades, perfect.
Yeah, and not everybody's built to talk to people. It makes sense. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, Lee loves carpentry for similar reasons and said he will not take a job working outside, only inside because he has terrible vision. The students attacked work on their own timelines. Some are there for a few months, others have been there for a few years. Each begins with an enrollment by trying out whatever skill in the warehouse interests them before settling in on a program. When Danny Combs founded the school in 2016, it was a first trade school in the nation specifically for young people with autism. Combs was inspired by his son, who was diagnosed with autism at age 2 and is now 14 and loves working on cars. Combs and his son are currently restoring a 1977 Mercedes that he bought for $800. This is the kind of car that Graham K would kill for. It doesn't say that. That
Oh
was
my
Kirk
God.
adding that.
Yes. I was thinking that. I was like, ooh, beautiful
Like,
gear.
ooh, I wonder if I can Google that where Kirk's doing this. See what that looks like.
800.
The way his
10
brain
grand into
works.
it, then I get a good car.
Put 10 grand in it, sell it for 6, lose money. That's the Graham way.
That's the Graham way. Buy high, sell low.
The way his brain works is pretty amazing, says Combs. There's so many stereotypes about autism, but they have so much talent. Combs left a career as a Grammy-winning songwriter to start this trade school after realizing that the jobs available to his son and other kids with autism were not based on helping them discover or use their talents. Typical programs for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities partner with grocery stores or restaurants, sending young people to wash dishes and sort laundry. The state medical care program offers support employment in which clients work alongside a job coach. But for those with the ability, and autism comes with a wide range, there are a few options, not just for jobs, but for schools that can prepare them to function in a job setting. Many students, teens, and young adults with autism are attending special schools where the state and federal safety rules are so strict they're not allowed to access dish soap. Oh boy, that's not great. The hardest thing for
Whoa.
us is that what we're doing is so unique it doesn't fit into the traditional box, Combs said. The agency that would regulate organizations like ours would come in, look and say, oh my God, there's a table saw and there's an auto lift. But we're trying to help them experience what a job is really going to look like so they can be more successful. How long is this article? Oh boy, I thought I was done, but I'm not even close. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. They operate with other. Okay, here we go. The school attempts to put together a scholarship package for each student based on donations and for the services for which they qualify. Students can typically qualify for funding from a community-centered boards if they have an IQ of 70 or below. They also take the Vineland test, which measures their ability to practice and learn conceptual skills. Some students have an IQ below 70 but excel in the following step-by-step tasks without distraction or frustration. Others quite the opposite. The son of the school's chief executive, for example, has a 160 IQ, can do orbital mechanics and math. His mind is brilliant, but he will not put his shirt on the right way in the morning. Anyway, so it's going through the different options. Tuition is around $6,000 a trimester. There are 80 students enrolled in the trade school. The school moved in January from a 5,000 square foot building, and private donors and families have funded $1.5 million in renovations to turn this warehouse from a stringent tube factory into a trade school. I'm going to pull forward a little bit. Now, Graham, an ironworker, loves that each student can learn how to weld given the time and patience. This is the guy training it. He set up a training in there. He's one of the instructors. The training requires an additional attention of detail that fits in with many of the students' skill sets. Anyone can be really good at it if they just practice. It takes a little more time for some to get it, but eventually they do. Wow, that was a long article. All right, you know what I'm going to say now. What do you think, buddy?
I love this. I wish that if I were president, I would say that every city had to have one of these. You could see the demand just in a year. It had grown so much, and they probably still have to turn people away, and that breaks my heart. It's better for the entire community if every city had a couple of these. Yeah, it's so imperative to get these people working for their own mental health, for just so they're not just on welfare, or they're just busy, and I don't know, and they can work.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of them can work and be really good at it. Be better than a neurotypical person because they would love it. Like my brother is the best janitor when he's not flushing toilet paper down the toilet and clogging it and causing thousands of dollars in damage. He is the best janitor.
Yeah, I
He
remember
takes
that story.
pride in his work. He
Yeah.
shows up every day on time, has a great attitude. You know.
Yeah, that's
So-
it. And I mentioned this last week, but it looks like end of this month we found something. We've got JJ in the site, so I'm excited. I'm a little nervous for him, but I'm
Really?
excited. Yeah.
Like, do you know what job he's gonna get?
No, I know. I mentioned this 2 weeks ago, but basically, there's a place that has um, it's a training center that was full, but they're
Yeah.
opening a new training center that's a little more advanced. And so some of the people from the simpler one are going to move over to the advanced one, and so then now there's room for JJ in the simpler one. So I'm very
Right.
excited, nervous but excited. And in the next few weeks, he's starting up. So yeah, exciting.
That's very exciting. What kind of jobs do you think he could do realistically?
No idea.
Moving 2x4s, like you said.
I mean,
You know,
the only thing about carpentry that obviously is there are
It's
sharp cutting
so
tools.
sharp.
Yes.
people who are neurotypical are missing fingers who work in that industry.
Yeah. So I don't know. I thought warehouse, something in the warehouse, moving stuff around.
Yeah.
But most of that is you're operating heavy machinery too. You're operating a forklift. You're operating on so we'll see. I don't know.
Maybe there's a pillow stacking factory.
Yeah, I
work
still
at.
think he'd be good at like recycling computers. Like nowadays when you recycle a computer, you got to take the whole thing apart. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be. He loves taking stuff apart.
Yeah, he loves unscrewing stuff. He likes screwdrivers.
What if he could
likes
just do
things apart.
demo on like house flippers, kitchens?
Yeah, he'd be good at that too.
You want your linoleum ripped up? We got the best guy in the world.
You need somebody to punch a hole in your drywall and then pull out the insulation? Can do.
We got the best guy in the biz. Takes
But
pride. in
I
it.
think he could sit at
He'll also break
little...
it. You're gonna want to put a lock on your fridge.
Yeah, exactly. You need him to do the linoleum in your kitchen? Can't do. But you need to do it in your bedroom? Yeah, let's keep him in the bedroom.
Yeah.
That's funny. We're going to have to chain your fridge shut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. What do you got this week, Grandma? You're in Colorado, huh?
I'm in Colorado, and then the following week, I'm going to be in Toronto for Just for Laughs. So, tickets are available at
I thought that was a summer thing. I didn't know that was an October
yes,
thing.
they have the Just for Laughs Montreal, which is a summer thing. That's the bigger one.
Got it.
And then the Toronto one happens every year in September. But tickets are available at grahamk.com. That is Graham spelt like the cracker and K spelt like the jeweler. And also, if you go to that website, you may also see tickets for the newly hit show Pete and Me, off Broadway. Doing a little theater in the Village. It's very cute. And I'm proud of it, so I'd love it if you came to see it. And Kirk, what do you have coming up?
Let's see. In 2 weeks, I've got I'm in the Laughing Skull Comedy Festival in Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta, I'm doing 7 shows. The first week of it, I think it's the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. You can catch me in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm excited, man. That's the right time to go, October.
Just matched with a girl on Hinge who somehow lives there. Don't know how that happened, but I'll tell her to go check you out.
Check out Pops. Pops has got a show down there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the old Pop.
My
Well,
old
that's
man
it, guys.
friend.
As always, we appreciate a quick rate and review on iTunes would really help us out. And you can have me on Instagram, Kirk Smith Comedy, and Facebook, YouTube. Graham?
Yeah, same old Mr. Graham K on the old Instagram, youtube.com/Graham K Comedy. And also, speaking of slashes, patreon.com/ Autastic, patreon.com/autastic to donate. I ran into one of our Patreon patrons recently, actually, on the road. And they're out there, and they're lovely people. Yes, in Alameda, in San Francisco area,
awesome.
Bay Area, had an autastic listener and her husband come out. They're both awesome. They're really cool people. It was just great to see them. So,
It's awesome.
if you're listening, it was great to see you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the Patreon donations.
It's awesome. All right, guys. Have a great week. You can do it.